Hi everybody, new friends and old. Hey, I'm here today. I just wanted to share with you uh, my testimonial. This is my first video on um, the coffee that I've been drinking and talking about so much on Facebook. So most of you that know me and those of you that don't know that I am a nurturing person. I tend to be a little bit parental. So um, and I guess it's just because I just want the best for everybody. I know that's the core reason for why I do what I do. And I love seeing people succeed. So with that, I think happiness is the only thing that can make you succeed, truly. Because if you don't love your job, you're never going to succeed at it. So happiness is vital to all of us, and it's something that I just want for everybody. And I absolutely hate when people are self-loathing and upset with themselves. And I get frustrated because I want to be the biggest cheerleader there is and cheer them up. And you can't help but feel helpless when somebody else is suffering with loneliness or depression or anxiety or all of the things that the world throws at us today. It can be very overwhelming. So with that desire to help, I have a tendency to be honest to a fault. And if you know me, you know I will tell you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear. And I guess that it really does, thin the crop on who's my best friend and who's not, but also who can count on me to be their biggest advocate. And today I'm hoping I can be your biggest advocate. So with that, I want to tell you about this coffee that has just changed my life. It's absolutely amazing. I take the Xanthamax with that. I hope I'm saying that right. So it's coffee in a pill, or I should say pill in a coffee, because you take the pill first in the morning with some water, and then you drink your coffee. And I actually add my own coffee to it. But why I started this coffee was because my sister, who has a chronic ailment, was taking it, and she just noticed such a great response for herself, and she lost weight as a side effect. So that piqued my interest right away. My sister is very into natural foods, and she really is really good about being very careful about what she puts in her system, and I always appreciate that about her. And I thought, geez, if she's doing this, I should try this. So I did, and wow, that's all I can say is wow. It's really changed my life, and I just can't help but share it with you. So what happened to me was I don't have any chronic pain per se, but I always had this thing where, and it's kind of funny, my mother-in-law, she used to say, you can't find your place. And by that, I meant, and she meant, I have everything in the world. And if you know me, I have a fabulous husband, I have a beautiful home, I have a great income, I have, great friends, I just have a wonderful life. So what would I possibly have to be upset about? And what would I possibly have to make me depressed or have anxiety? And but I did inside. I mean, some of this energy that I have, which people will tell you I have a lot of energy, and that's why I work so hard, and that's why I get so much done. But it's not just that. There's an anxiety that was within me, and a loneliness that even my relationship with God couldn't fill. And I didn't understand what that was, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't place it. I even tried being on Wellbutrin for probably 10 years, and that didn't really help the anxiety or the loneliness. It did help with the desire to have or to push myself so hard. It did help me kind of relax and kick back just a bit. So it took some of the edge off, which was great, but it didn't give me that sense of peace that I really longed for in my life. And when I started taking this drug and the Xanthamax and this coffee, the third day I just was like, oh my gosh, I am so happy. Like, happy. Like when I was a child, happy. And I don't know what happened, and I don't know how it happened, but I am so glad it happened. And so I'm sorry, I'm getting a call. Let me just decline that real quick. Anyway, so so what the coffee has in it, or the Xanthamax has in it, is the 4 natural hormones. It's made out of hops, and it has 4 natural hormones that help you have more balance in your life. And one of those is the endorphins. And you can get endorphins by really exercising vigorously, and I get that, but who has time for that when you're working like I am, right? But that's the hormone that helps the chronic pain that people have, like arthritis and fibromyalgia and maybe rheumatoid arthritis or things of that nature. I can imagine, but you know, that's what that hormone does. So that maybe might not affect me a whole lot, but it also helps with the serotonin, which is the positive, happy, mood elevating hormone. And it's the opposite of like a depression, and it's like being high without a buzz, I guess maybe would be the way to explain it. Or maybe like a good example would be, say your child spills something, and normally you would run in the room and be like, oh my god, what'd you do, and all that. Well, that kind of curbs that to the point where you're more like, oh goodness, you spilled your milk, I told you not to drink in here, you know, you should stay in the kitchen, and you clean it up and you move on. And life is just a little bit simpler and a little bit easier going. So that's a great thing about serotonin. And you're not so much a Debbie Downer, and you're not negative, and you're not always looking for the wrong thing or the bad thing in the situation. You're like, oh, that could work out, or that could be positive. And so that's one of those hormones that it's just a mood elevating hormone, which is, you know, always a great thing to have. The dopamine that's in it, that the Xanthamax promotes in your body, that's that gambler's drug or a gambler's high, and the affirmation that you get from your spouse and hopefully from your work, be it from your clients or your patients if you're in the healthcare profession like so many of my friends are, or if you know you've done a good job on your real estate sale and your clients are really happy with you and you're like, yay, I did it, you know, I made it. And just that success that you get, that's the dopamine, that's the affirmation. And it's a great drug to have without being a gambler or an addict to gambling, obviously. And the oxytocin that it releases is the love hormone. That's the hormone that moms just pour out of their bodies when they give birth to a baby, and when you have intercourse with somebody you truly love, and you feel that great connection that you can have, and it's that puppy sweet love feeling like in you that you belong to something, and that everything is just right with the world, and that's a great feeling to have, and everybody should have that feeling. And it's so meant to be. I mean, the Lord put that in us so that we would have that feeling of joy and belonging. And we're created like a pack people. We need to belong to things. And so I'm not sure what hormone in me was missing, or if it was all of them or some of them or just an imbalance of them maybe. But all I know is I've just been so happy and so excited to share this with everyone, and I want everybody to be this happy that I can't help but have to share this story with you and hope that you will try it. And you need to try it for at least 3 days. It's less than most people spend a month on their prescription drugs, and it's a 30-day supply. And if you're like me, I ran out in 2 weeks because my husband tried it too, and I was freaking out, and I got more, thank God. But it's just one of those things that to share it with everyone. And I hope that you will follow this story and learn more about it. And if you want me to give you information, please message me. I'd be